need, our pass rush needs. So I'm anxious this Thursday. We're invited all the parents on the team to come out and watch practice, and before they head home for Easter break. So, but we're getting better. It's just not. I'm maybe a little impatient person. It's not quite with the intensity today and yesterday, on Saturday that I wanted. But we are getting better.
There's some legislation. The NCAA Division I Council is going to go this week. Is it your understanding that you'll be able to hire, if that goes through, a 10th assistant coach before the season starts? And how do you think that's going to affect recruiting?
Yeah, so it's all bundled in. All the legislation is bundled into one. So there's a bunch of really groundbreaking legislation that's going through. One of those is the hiring of a 10th coach, which I think is very much needed. You talk about the ratio we have in our sport. We're talking about, really including me, 10 full-time coaches, 9 full-time assistant coaches for, 115 guys. So you'd like from, safety, monitoring, education, mentoring, you'd like to have another coach working with them. I don't know if it'll pass in bulk, and then there's talk about maybe splitting it up. I don't know if that'll happen. And then if they do pass it, there's talk about whether it will happen before the season or if it will happen after next season.
January,
so, yeah, I'm all for it happening now because I'm a coach, and the more guys that have jobs, I'm happy for them. And I think it's, in terms of player safety and development, I think it's wonderful. But if not, then hopefully it'll happen in January.
What about the recruiting aspect of it? How do you think that's going to change?
Just be one more guy on the road, and a lot of those guys can already recruit, while people are on campus, etc. But now there's just one more person on the road, which again I think would be great for us, especially as we cover the state of Texas.
Coach, these guys aren't used to a playbook. How are they taking to the playbook?
Oh, they've been great. I mean, they're great, smart kids, and they learn. And at the end of the day, like what we're doing is not very much different. There's only so many plays you can really run in football, so it's not that much different. It's just, as I tell them, and I show them, we got coaches that represent, 8, 9, 10 NFL teams on our staff, and when we call ride 34 at the Giants, someone else calls, 15. It's the same play, right? So, but we have these are smart guys, and they've done a nice job of learning and memorizing and buying into the learning process, which can be voluminous for any team, anytime, when you have to learn a new offense or defense.
How big is the playbook? Is it a lot of pages or?
I think they hide parts of it from me, so I don't see it. Coach Snow's is pretty thick,
okay.
But a lot of it's because Coach Snow starts out by making the kids all learn the offensive formations. And he makes them all learn the offensive routes. So if you play for Coach Snow, you learn offense before you ever begin to learn defense, and that's part of the comprehensive building of a player. And offensively, they have a good bit.
Have the injuries affected you being able to install what you'd like to this spring?
Not really. At times they've asked us to have some guys have had to do double duty for us in some positions, but I think we've taken the approach of our job is to coach whoever's out there, and a lot of guys. Josh Malin came back today, which was great. Gave us another body out there on the offensive line. So, but yeah, we've just kind of moved ahead with the install and the corrections, and even if a guy's banged up, he can still learn. We still expect them to learn, and that's a great lesson for them to learn as they move into pro football. Is if you get banged up, you better know what you're doing when you get back, or it's a short career. So we've kind of stayed the course on that.
Not a lot of experience back there in the secondary. What do you see from those guys?
And the guys who have played are, been a little bit banged up. I think Chance Waz has done a nice job, back there. But, Sells has been in and out. Davian Hall's been out for the whole spring with a hamstring. But I think those guys are getting better. They're working, and we're putting a lot on them. And but they're doing a nice job, and I think they're definitely learning. It's just, if there's a position that takes the attrition of camp, it's defensive back. Those guys get tired because we run them so much. But we got good kids, and they're working to get better.
How many guys do you have missing out there for injuries?
I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7. A couple of those kids had surgery before the season, and today, Young and Sales has been in and out. Davion Hall's out, Pezel's out.
Is Taylor back?
Taylor's not back yet.
How the cornerbacks look? You mentioned the safeties. How the cornerbacks?
Yeah, the corners have done a nice job. We lost Graylin and Tolbert before spring really started, and then. But I think the other kids have done a really nice job, and they have talent. Texana's a young kid who can run. They're just young. I mean, they, as I tell them, I said, this process you're going through as a freshman into a sophomore, where you doubt yourself, and then you kind of come back, get some confidence, and you get beat. That's where you become a good corner. That really is. I mean, you really don't become a great corner to me until you get beat in the game, and you say, okay, that wasn't the end of the world. I can do this, right? So we try to simulate that in practice, so you don't have to wait to the games, But I think I'm pleased with all those groups. Those kids are all developing and getting better.
Coach Wainwright's out there. He had some gloves. Looked like he was ready to run some routes. You gonna play tight end for you guys?
I don't know about that. I actually asked him to come over and help me with my jump shot. So I'm struggling in the Newtown basketball game. But it's just a winner, and so I invited them over to practice.
What's your philosophy when it comes to special teams, and what have you guys really been working on in that aspect, the competition out there? I noticed Connor and Drew kicking field goals there.
Yeah, so we don't do very much special teams during the spring football. We're probably one of the only teams that's like that. It's my old coach Paterno and me. We never did special teams at all in the spring other than field goal. And so we give them some work, and we try to put them in some competitive situations today where, we did a field goal period, but then, where they, in a 2 minute, if you won, you could kick the field goal, and if not, then they had to run. So, we'll try to get really good at that battery, snap, kick, hold, protect. And, as we also, I don't know if you noticed, we did it live. And that's one of the reasons why we led the country the last couple of years. And we've been one of the leaders in the country in block kicks is because we do it live and take it seriously. So, but the rest of the special teams will kind of develop through the summer into the fall, and really in the fall count on the special team guys to do it.
Looked like you were trying to steer the field goal.
I was, yeah. Well, I wanted the defense kept running, so I wanted the offense to have to run one time. I try to keep everything equitable.
What about the quarterbacks, and have you got plans for Charlie Brewer, redshirt, or try to keep him redshirted, or what?
I don't even think about redshirting, honestly, until we're at the first game, we're into the first couple games, and I've just at another school, but I've had some success sometimes with playing a kid as a freshman, then redshirting him as a sophomore or a junior. Sometimes it's great for some kids to get in there and help, So at the quarterback position, I don't think we'll have any idea where guys are going to be in this offense until the middle of camp, until they've had, this spring, and then they go back and look at their mistakes and go through the summer process and really go back and refine what they're doing. Then you get into camp, and now you're really getting to see a guy who understands the offense. So sometimes right now some guys look a little bit better one day than the others because they have a truer grasp of what's happening. And I'd much rather take the learning out of it and make it all be about production and footwork and, execution. So we'll go through the preseason and, at some point in the preseason when it clears itself up. Once we know, we know. We don't, I'm not one of those guys who you don't know until the first snap of the game. I mean, we're going to make a decision. But I don't think, with the new offense, it would be fair to say it would be, anytime soon.
Do you have a rule of thumb that you want to decide by, say, mid-August on who the quarterback is going to be?
The sooner I know, the better, so I can sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
But just when we know, So I just think in fairness, I think, Charlie should be, like I said, he should be a senior in high school right now. Zach's kind of running around on a bad ankle still from the season. Anu just got here. He's been in a whole different offense. So I think that they need this spring, they need the summer work that we do. They need some of the preseason. And then when we know in the preseason, we'll go with it.
Well, is it still Zach, Anu, and
we rotate those guys. Yeah, I think we've given everyone a chance with the ones. I think everything we've done has kind of been historical to start. Just sort of hey, Zach was a starter, so he goes with the ones probably a little bit more than everybody else. Anu has some class issues as well, where he has to leave for class, and but we give them all, try to give them all a chance where they get a chance to go with the ones and the twos.
even Charlie?
Oh yeah, Charlie's got some chances to go with the ones.
So do you think you want them to bug into the spring game?
No, not at all. No.
How much of your offense have you installed? Is it all installed, or?
I wish it was. I think they keep trying to sneak new things in on me. But, we're sort of in some of that situational stuff now, which sometimes people say, hey, this is our offense, but then when they get the 2 minute, so we're in 2 minute now. So we're doing some of those, end of game things that you use once a year, but when you come to them, you better be good at them. So it's going to.
So all that up tempo stuff we got to see, that's not.
Oh no, we've been doing some up tempo stuff. I'm converting, so a little bit.
We're gonna push you.
But I'm all. I think I'll say is, and I read someone talking about this today. I'm all for tempo. I just think there's a time and place for everything. I think when tempo first came out and no one was doing it, the people that did it ran people off the field, but now everyone's kind of used to it. So as a kind of as a rule, if you're behind or it's even, you might want to play with some tempo. And if your defense is gassed and they haven't, I think a misnomer. Baylor's defense is one of only a few teams in the country that under Coach Bennett over the last 4 years averaged, I think it was under 5.5 yards per play. That's great. That's an elite number. Just you're playing 80 plays a game. So my whole thing is if we're behind, we'll try to play a little faster. If you have a lead, we'll love to slow it down, and we have to be very careful about how many plays the defense plays. You can't play good defense if you're playing 80 plays. So there's a little matrix there. I talk about it because it makes me feel like I'm doing something good. I'm doing my job, but the 2 minute today was fun to see them get gassed.
I know there's a lack of depth on the offensive line, and running back's a little bit short right now, but defensively, with all those units, do you feel good about the depth you have?
Yeah, maybe corner was a little bit banged up. I think we had 3 guys out today. Verkedrick just had pulled muscle, and so, with Graven and Tolbert being down. But I think once those guys get back, we'll feel healthy. And I'll say this about the starting offensive line. I feel good about those 5 guys, and some guys behind them are developing. So, yeah, but I think on defense, we have solid numbers at every position, and we have a lot of kids coming in too that'll help build that depth as well. There's not a ton of seniors on defense, so those kids we have them for a couple of years.
Last question for
On
Coach.
scholarship? That shouldn't be the last question. That's just
What's that?
how many kids do you have on scholarship right now this spring?
Oh, I'm not good enough. 85 minus 23 is maybe 62, something like that. So, 60, somewhere between 60 and 64,
Okay.
something like that. Because I hate to give you the wrong exact number, but we're in the range of that range.